Alrighty, so I am here because I bought a hat kit from Clockwork Monsters. As someone who used to formerly go by Mina Monster, I already love. They already sell pre-made hats. If you're interested, they have an Etsy under the name Clockwork Monster, so you can buy pre-made hats if you're interested. But what I was mainly interested in is they sell hat kits. So it's a kit that includes everything, even including needle and thread, for you to be able to make your own hats. So all the pieces are pre-cut. You have your choice of a standard kit or an upgraded kit. The difference of the upgraded kit is that it gets you extra decorations essentially. But since it's do-it-yourself, you don't have to use everything that they give you. You can use whatever you like. For this, I've swapped out one of the fabrics. So the first thing I did was I pulled out the instructions. So here we have the instructions, which came with kind of like a basic list of things that come with it. So this comes with, well, it says here that your kit should include pre-cut heavy buckram shapes for a crown and brim, pre-cut 19 gauge millinery wire, pre-cut felt, pre-cut decorative fabric, decorative trim, satin lining, and 2 ribbon tabs, thread, pins, a sewing kit with a needle, and assorted sewing tools and instructions. And here we have the instructions. So this is just written step by step as far as what you'll do. I may vary from these steps just because I personally have made my own hats before from scratch. And so I already am going into this kind of knowing what I'm doing. But it's kind of nice to have this kit just like for those who are beginners or those interested in hat making. This is specifically the mini witch hat, but they also have a few other styles. I know there's a tricorn as well as a boater hat. Fingers crossed for more, honestly, because like I really like hats. So that's what I'm personally hoping for. So I already did somewhat get kind of started because I forgot I wanted to film this, and I took the buckram pieces as well as some of the fabric that got a little wrinkled during transit and ironed them all out, and then now I have the buckram pieces. I just used whatever thread was already in my sewing machine to do step 1, which was sew the wire. So here you can see that I sewed the millinery wire in. The instructions on this part, like of the outer brim, that was clear to me. But as far as the smaller pieces, because it came with 2 smaller pieces of wire, and I wasn't entirely sure where those were going, and in this time, because it's honestly the middle of the night, I'm not surprised I didn't get a response because, you know, I'm a crazy person. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I didn't know where the other wire was supposed to go. Like the other 2 pre-cuts, I think in this, because I just have this one pinned, I think one of these shorter lengths is supposed to be for this because it's kind of like perfectly sized for it. But I'm not sure. So hopefully I get a response back soon about that. So I opted to do the big cut of wire around the outer brim and then just kind of reinforce this because it is supposed to sit kind of folded like this, but I wanted to make sure that the spot where the crown is going to sit remains kind of flat. As far as the crown, it does have some allowances for overlap. There was markings on the original piece, but I opted to just kind of fit it around my shape of like wire, which already had a circle in purple drawn out, so it's kind of easy enough. Like literally all the guesswork is taken out for you, which I much appreciate because I'm lazy. So now that I have these all like kind of preset, I'll probably go ahead and stitch this up just to finish this off. But then I know that the next step is taking the cotton wadding pieces, which I have here, although I don't think these are cotton, these may be polyester. Since this is going to be the underside that's going to be sticking to my head in a fashion, what I'm going to do is just base these in place like this so that when my fabric is on top of them, it won't be just rough buckram against them. So yeah, that is going to be my next step. Okay, I don't think I've done this since I was in like 5th grade, but I sewed my finger. What? Like, hello? Can I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, there we go. I literally haven't done that in years. Oh well. Oh man, I just realized. Here I was putting the basting on, and I just realized I normally put like the padding on the side with the wire so it cushions and hides the wire, but I didn't. Oh well. We're already here. We're just gonna keep going. Alrighty. So, I've got the pieces basted on. So, next, what I'm gonna do is take my top fabric and attach that. So I did already check, and so this will be going on this piece because, like I mentioned before, I sewed the batting wrong, but I somewhat don't care. And I do mean somewhat. I think I would care even less if I hadn't used black here. So something else I might do is just get some of my own fabric, cut out a piece just this size, and just add an extra layer, partially as cushion and partially to make it so that nothing could be seen through. I already made sure that I had enough like to be able to just kind of fold this over, and all I'm gonna do is kind of just tack it down underneath, because then once I have that, then I can use the fabric that will be going here and just kind of nicely stitch that around, because I don't know, I'm not really a fan of just having like ribbon or just edging along this edge. I may consider it, I may try it, because I do have this ribbon, which I think would be kind of nice, and I could just kind of fold it over this edge just to tidy it up a bit. But I don't know, we'll see. So I'm going to attach all these like all the pieces to the pieces. Pieces. I'll come back when I have more words for you. So I got the crown kind of all pinned. Since it's cut on the bias, I do have like weird length, but that's okay. So it's all pinned and okay, bye. But I just want to show like starting sewing it. So I'm going to start up here and move my way down. But I want to show I don't knot my thread when I'm hand sewing, like ever. For the most part, I will just backstitch in one place, but since I'm starting in such like a specific point, it's not going to be easy to like hide my tail in there. So what I'm going to do is kind of start about like an inch away and just find up as I can get it. That's good. That's a good spot. So then I just push my needle up and I will pull it. I don't know how well you can see my thread since it is kind of like the same color. This thread that I'm using, the thread I was using before was just a basic cotton thread that I had in my stash that I was using to baste, but this thread literally matches perfectly. It came with the kit and I got a lovely whole like spool of it. I don't know what the fiber content of it is, but it didn't melt when I did a burn test, but since I just cleaned, my nose isn't set to be able to smell anything, so now my tail is hidden, so I can start stitching here. I'm gonna do my best to kind of hide the stitches and make them as small as I can, so that way I don't have to worry about it really being seen and it can just be kind of as clean as I can get it. So up here at the very tippy top, I'm gonna just whip stitch as much as I can just to close it. Oh no, I've caught on the wrong side of my thread. And since that's kind of closed, I'm actually right here seems stronger, so I'm just going to stitch in place a couple times and have that kind of being my secure spot instead of knotting my thread. So now that I'm here, I'm just going to take from the underside actually and grab just a few threads if I can get that. Currently not wearing my glasses like I probably should be. And just kind of stitching my way down. This would probably be easier if I did stitch up instead of down. Just trying to get everything. But I never said I was smart. I only ever say I'm not stupid. But trust me, I have plenty of stupid moments. So you can't even trust that. And I'll just continue like this. Probably closer to my face and without a camera in between. So I can see a bit better. But this way I'm taking further from my seam line just because it has a lot of slack. And I want to pick up some of that slack and make it like a snugger fit to the buckram base. But yeah, I'll catch up with you when I finish this. Alrighty, so if everything as far as the outer fabrics just sewn on and tacked on, finished this seam. Honestly, I started sewing and like I like hand sewing, don't get me wrong, and I like making hats, but this is entirely just a fun project for myself. So pardon it being literally sloppy, like I'm just here to have fun. So I started with like slip stitching it, and then I got to about here when my thread snapped, because I've gotten used to like working with kind of more cotton and like heavier thread that can resist snapping, and this is the thread that came with the kit, and I'm just too rough with it. There's nothing wrong with the thread itself, I'm just a little too rough with it. So it snapped when I got to about here, and I just ended up just whip stitching it with tiny whip stitches to try and just get it to hold. And then I used kind of a locking stitch to just secure around the edge. I'm leaving it kind of raw on the inside, partially because I don't care, and partially because there is like a circle which you might be able to see. Oh, you can see it, cool. That is a marking from the person who made the kit for like indicating where this goes. And I did put a bit of wire around there. I decided I'm not going to cut this open. I'm going to leave it like this because this is, again, just a small hat that's going to be like perched. So this will just give me something to pin into, especially leaving the buckram intact. It will give me something to pin into to secure the hat to my head without straps, because there's nothing wrong with straps, just like with the hairstyles and the way that I would like to style it, I prefer there to not be straps. So I'm leaving that intact because my fabric will cover all this. I just use kind of like a cross stitch herringbone stitch to just tack this in place, because this should all get hidden by the like liner fabric. So it didn't need to look neat for me. If I did care, I would have just like kind of snipped these like bubbly areas and tacked those down individually, but this was just to secure it. So before I go attaching this to this, well actually this to this, hello pointed edge, what I'm gonna do is just through here just kind of do some running stitches around this circle so that I can easily see it from the top. So it'll secure this in place, as well as giving me a easy area to kind of just see to attach these 2 points together, because I'm going to kind of just stab stitch all the way around and just see it best and just secure it, because a lot of what's going to be right here as far as stitching is going to be hidden by my fabric that will go at the base of the brim. So for this is my liner fabric that will go here and just get stitched to this like underside. And then this is scrap. This is literally, I think, all I have left over from a skirt that I had made, and this was actually like my inspiration fabric for this hat. So that's where, like, this is all just, it's coming together. So this is just like literally scrap it. It was from leftover excess waistband, so it still has some threads in it. I'll have to clean off, but I'm gonna take this and just have this be kind of the band here at the top. You know what I mean? Just something nice and cute. I'll probably do like an inch tall one, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided, because I have maybe about 5 inches by 20 inches, something like that for this length. I'm debating cutting it at a angle so I can kind of get like a nice cross of the pattern, as well as cutting it on kind of as close to the bias as I can get. I can probably try and get on the bias with it and just make bias tape, and that way that when I secure it to this, there won't be any like ripply edges. It'll just be something nice and secure. So that is my plan. Well, doesn't that look like a hat? Hold on. Now that it's in more pieces, or in less pieces. Oh my gosh, what is English? What are words? So yeah, now we're attached rather firmly. So yeah, I stitched just a quick, like, essentially backing stitch all the way around the wire I had put at the base, which I heard back, and I did that wrong. Apparently the 2 short pieces were supposed to be put on lines that were indicated for the like crown piece. But you remember when I mentioned that this came with instructions? At some point, I forgot that I had those, even though they were sitting right next to me the whole time. So I kind of just followed what felt natural for me. But as you can see, it kind of turned out like pretty okay. So now all that I have left is to now add, oh gosh, if things would stop falling. This is my next step, is just getting this all pinned in place and probably just whip stitching it in place. I can't. Now the crown's in the way. There we go. You can kind of see that a bit better. But yeah, so I'm just going to end up folding over this edge. I might try to iron it a bit just to get something nice and crisp. And then just kind of stitching all along here with the thread. I'm going to try again with the thread that was provided, because I now have a whole spool of it. And I don't really want it to go to waste, but I can't exactly foresee myself really using it because it's not typically what I use. So I'm going to use it where I can on this project, as well as in like future projects, just to use it up. It's kind of nice that like so much thread was given for this project, because now I can keep it for any future endeavors as well, especially on like, since it's already on a little bobbin, I can even pop it in my machine for like some quick projects or whatnot. So that is the plan. This, just magically attach it with sheer willpower. That's what we use. Forget thread. Thread is overrated. It's just sheer willpower nowadays. So I'll be back once I've summoned enough will. Okay, this is literally like just pinned, but like, oh, I can't get over this fabric. I don't work too much with like taffetas or any fabrics that are kind of like this kind of dual chrome nature. I don't know how well you can see that, but it has like it's primarily like a coppery bronze with like this green through it, and I freaking love it. Just like, it's just a hint of green. But yeah, I got it all pinned in place. It fit perfectly. I just have one pin kind of in the middle that kind of just helped with making sure I didn't pull too much, so that it lays completely flat. And just, oh guys, I'm so excited. I can actually take this one out. I'm very tempted, since the like brim will be kind of turned up, to put something along the inside, like nice like ribbon decoration. You know what, we'll just burn that bridge when we get to it. Right now I am just about to finish the base of this, and I'm excited, so that's what I'm gonna focus on. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Alrighty, so now we have the underside. Look how smooth and shiny that is. Oh, I'm so excited. So it's all stitched in place. I just tied off my thread. So now I'm gonna just bury the thread, just kind of make it so that when I go to cut it, there's no tail that's sticking out. Where is my snippy snips? Where did my thread go? The color matching is great because I don't have to worry about it. If a thread is sticking out, that people will see it. Downside, when I go to snip it, especially without my glasses on, I can't see. So here we have a hat. So now what we're going to do next is make this into a band to go around here. I think I want it maybe an inch tall. I feel like that might be a little too tall, but I'm excited. I had to decide also how I want the brim to go, because I kind of want to do one of those ones where it's like that, you know what I mean? Ah! So my light fell. I'll come back when I have my life together. All right, now we're back on track with lighting. Slightly more secure, but honestly, it was janky to begin with, because it's literally just a selfie ring sitting in a skull-shaped ramekin, and the only thing kind of holding it in place is a bunch, like literally a buttload of spare dice. Ooh, what if I put a dice on my hat? Ooh, just kind of like a little, like, extra little thing that you might not even see. I'll have to go through it later and see if I can find a dice that I would like to put on here. But yeah, so I decided I kind of want to try the shape that it's intended to be, which is this kind of like lovely little kind of taco shape. Honestly, as it is, if I position this right, I could look like a unicorn, which sounds pretty sick to me if you ask me. But yeah, so currently have it kind of in this shape. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it in this shape. We will see. Got the kind of the base done, so next we're just gonna, let's just focus on this. This is a surefire thing, so we're just gonna focus with this. Guess what's done? It's my hat. So I got the band all cut out and sewn. I just tied it in a bow in the back. It's not tacked down or anything. I stuffed the, like, what are they? Dandelions? No. I don't know what they are. You know what I'm trying to say. The puffball plant things. I got those put in, as well as the feather. Right at the end, when I was putting in this little D4, a glob of E6000 sabotaged me and caused me to cut the best part of the feather. So I just reshaped it in hopes of trying to salvage it. None of the stuff is really actually like tacked into place. It's kind of just shoved into the band, but I'm okay with that. The only thing that's actually glued down is this little D4, because it like matches some of the kind of more mustardy tones that I have in the ribbon, as well as like kind of the base, where it kind of just has that kind of color shifting element to it. So I'm happy with it. Like, I was able to customize it how I wanted it. It turned out so stinking cute. I'm still debating adding something around here for just like an extra decoration, but at the same time, I very much love it how it is. The kit overall, like, I definitely recommend this. It's cute, it's fun. It only took me about 2 Barbra Streisand movie musicals to complete. I was working a little on the slow side because I was just relaxing. Like, this was just for fun for me. And like, you don't have to be a milliner. You don't have to be like some hyper capable being to do this. Like, it comes with instructions, it comes with everything already pre-cut, it comes with like a whole freaking spool, and even if you don't follow the directions, like I clearly didn't, you still get something that looks correct and like looks really cute, and you can go out into the world and be like, and people are, you can't tell me that you would see this on the street, someone wearing this, and be like, hey, your hat's cute. And you get to like whip around and be like, thanks, I somewhat made it. So yeah, check them out. It is Clockwork Monster on Etsy. They also have a Facebook under the same name of Clockwork Monster. They have other hat kits if you are not of the witchy type. I know literally the I hadn't even opened this hat kit before, and I kind of bought their boater hat kit. And I think that might have gotten shipped today, in fact. So if you want to see that hat kit, and that one I asked to be a complete surprise. Like, I didn't request color or anything. I just said, hey, surprise me. And I'm excited to see what I got. So if you want to see that, let me know. But thanks for watching me craft and rant. Stick around for more mediocre content. Or inconsistent mediocre content. Inconsistent mediocre content. La, 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 la. And yesterday I was stitching and I was filming, and I was doing a time lapse of me just pad stitching, interfacing in place. And then I went to like move how I was holding things, and discovered that I had stitched through the top layer of my skin on one of my fingers and stitched my hand to my project without realizing it.
How?
Because it went through the top layer, so it didn't hit any nerves or anything or living tissue.
Like, I get that, but like, you should, like, it didn't occur to you, like, additional resistance or something?
Not until I went to move my hand.
Oh my god.
Because it wasn't the hand that's actively sewing, it was the hand that's holding the tension.
I know, but still, I would have, I've done it a couple of times, I'm like, why is there so additional, like, suddenly extra resistance? And I look, oh, I'm sewing it to my hand. Like...
I literally haven't done that since 2005.